Ondo State is 50, a land blessed by God, peopled by resourceful and intelligent men and women. Created in February 1976, the state has come a long way. Great leaders have captained the ship, and it has pleased God to put a man with great grace, destined to massively impact the state as captain at this crucial time. His Excellency, Dr. Lucky Orimisa Ayedatiwa. The government and people are excited about a state blessed with resources so abundant to ensure that the people keep enjoying ease. Join the Sunshine State at 50 to praise God as we celebrate a milestone defined by achievements even greater than envisaged by the founding fathers who worked and prayed tirelessly for a state that will lead development of the nation on all fronts. May the next 50 years be defined by unprecedented development. Dr. Taiwo Fashoroti, Secretary to Ondo State Government and Chairman 50th Anniversary Planning Committee, announcer.
On the news tonight, security agencies step up border surveillance to boost safety in Ondo State. Experts call for intelligence-driven surveillance to block terrorism financing in Nigeria. Good evening and welcome to Nta Akure News at 7. I am Abdul Karim Ahmed. Now the news. Security agencies in Ondo State have pledged to strengthen border surveillance as part of intensified efforts to prevent attacks, secure vulnerable locations, and curb illegal migration. They disclosed this in Akure while speaking on the security architecture of the state and measures put in place to enhance border monitoring and improve safety across the state. Tony Batire now reports.
Researches and records from past incidents indicate that Ondo State has faced security challenges, including armed robbery, farm elder conflicts, and court-related activities. A major concern among these is border-related insecurity, particularly kidnapping, which frequently occurs along highways. These incidents are often facilitated by porous land and water boundaries linking the state with neighboring states, with unemployment and poverty identified as contributing factors.
We have been hearing a lot of insecurity, whereby they will kidnap people from right and left. I know the security are trying is far more better than the way it was before, but now, especially this Akure, they need to mount some roadblocks, some checkpoints.
The world is advancing, so we need more CCTV in all areas of Ondo State.
Security agencies in the state say intensified joint operations have begun to yield results, leading to a relatively calm security atmosphere. They reaffirmed their commitment to sustaining the momentum through the deployment of new technologies and the strengthening of joint task force along borders.
We are prepared. We will continue to protect our boundaries with other states, so that there will not be any form of incursion to the state. And the highway too is well fortified. Police, you can say our men from Akure to up to our boundary with Edo, from Akure to Akoko, also our boundary with Kogi, Edo, Ekiti.
We had constant attack in the Ala area, which necessitated the state government to set up a joint task force. And to a large extent, we've been able to decimate most of those bandits around that area. And to a large extent, I'm sure that the people of Ala, of course, can now rest. And so this year, we're ready to go.
The agencies also urge residents to remain calm and continue their lawful activities, while also collaborating with security operatives by providing timely and credible information. They noted that improved interagency coordination and enhanced surveillance remain central to efforts aimed at safeguarding lives and property across the state. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NTA News.
Key persons driving Nigeria's effort to curb terrorism financing have been urged to adopt more deliberate intelligence-driven telecommunications surveillance to strengthen early warning systems against illicit financial flows, particularly those linked to terrorist activities. This formed part of key recommendations made by security and financial crimes experts during a discussion on tackling terrorism financing on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria. Nta Akure reported that the expert also emphasized the need for tougher sanctions and stricter financial penalties for offenders to consolidate existing gains and reinforce effort to safeguard the nation's sovereignty.
Congratulations to Nigeria.
Nigeria's removal from the European Union's list of countries associated with terrorism financing has been described by these security experts as a significant milestone in the nation's efforts to curb illicit financial flows and strengthening its anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks. The experts, however, caution that despite the progress recorded, the country is not yet out of the woods, stressing the need for sustained vigilance, stricter enforcement, and continuous policy reforms to consolidate the gains.
How do terrorists finance their activity? They do it through kidnapping, and they use the telecom system. And when they use the telecom system, how do they register to get a phone number? All this need to be put in place. But how do we put in place a regulation that will help empower the monitoring agencies to be able to carry out actions that will disrupt the activity of terrorist groups?
The shadow economy itself. Shadow economy, that means when we talk about, or when we look at the formal economy and say, okay, business to business, country to country, those that we see, perhaps that is clear. There are a lot of efforts that have been made. But what happens with the economies that is beneath that formal economy? So those are areas that have to still be focused on.
And it is important that for us to have a more effective coverage of intercepting, frustrating, and apprehending terrorist funding. Our relationship with our strategic neighbor, especially Niger, is key in this algorithm.
Meanwhile, responses from Nigerians through the GMN social media platforms and phone lines aligned with the views of the guest, calling for better coordination among intergovernmental agencies and other key actors, including enhanced international cooperation. In Abuja, Oluseye Adiagbo, NTA News.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has restrained Julius Abure from further parading himself as the national chairman of Labour Party and recognizing the Senator Usman Nenadi-led caretaker committee as the legitimate leadership of the party. Justice Peter Alifu gave the order anchored the decision of the court on the April 4, 2025 verdict of the Supreme Court, which nullified Abure's claim to the position. The court therefore ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to immediately accord recognition to the Nenadi Usman-led caretaker committee as the only lawful authority to act for and represent the Labour Party pending the conduct of a national convention. The judgment followed a suit instituted by Senator Nenadi Usman challenging Abure's continued stay in office. Justice Lifu held that materials placed before the court clearly show that Abure's tenure as national chairman of the Labour Party had expired. The court dismissed Abure's argument that the dispute was an internal affair. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, has called on court registrars across the country to embrace technology and judicial automation as a critical step towards improving efficiency, transparency and access to justice in Nigeria's courts. Justice Kekereekun made the call while delivering an address at the 2026 strategic retreat of the Committee of Chief Registrars of Nigeria themed Strengthening Court Administration, Financial Accountability and Staff Well-being for a More Effective Judiciary in Nigeria. She said the judiciary was operating in an era defined by rising caseloads, evolving public expectations, and rapid technological advancements, stressing that modern court administration must adapt to these realities. Describing the courts as the heartbeat of the justice system, Justice Kikeriokun warned that weak administration inevitably leads to delays in justice delivery and erosion of public confidence. You're still watching Nta Akure News at 7. We shall be back in a moment. Please stay with us.
Our major currency unit is the Naira, while the minor unit is the Kobo. They are both in notes and coins. The Naira is more than just a medium of exchange. It bears the images of our heroes. So, stop abusing the Naira. It is a criminal offense to spray the Naira at events. Stop stepping on the Naira. It's not your enemy. Do not squeeze, ruffle, or write on the Naira. Handling the Naira with dirty or oily hands can deface the Naira. Love the Naira as you love yourself. Be a real Nigerian. Do not abuse the Naira.
You're welcome back. Don't forget you can also watch us live on social media via our handles on Facebook and YouTube at Nta Akure. As the dry season begins, health experts in Akure, Ondo State, are cautioning Nigerians on precautionary measures against common illnesses associated with the period. According to them, characterized by low humidity, dusty winds, and high temperatures, often comes with increased health challenges. Abiola Ario now reports.
The medical practitioners say cases of respiratory infections, catarrh, asthma attacks, skin dryness, eye irritation, as well as dehydration are more prevalent during the dry season, as children, the elderly, and the people with underlying health conditions are particularly at risk. According to them, exposure to dust and hot temperatures can weaken the immune system, leading to coughs, colds, sore throats, and other respiratory issues.
There are some also diseases that can be aggravated during this period because of dehydration. There is no water. So diseases like hypertension can be aggravated. Diabetes too can be aggravated during this time,
Because of what is in the air and some other things, you have skin rashes. It's common also around this period.
To lower these risks, experts recommend adequate daily water intake and maintaining good personal hygiene habits.
You must be pouring water on yourself at least a few times in a day. Secondly, you dress properly. Most of the time, light dressings during the day. And you use as much as possible what covers most part of your body so that you can prevent yourself from real contact.
Drink enough water to reduce dehydration. You make sure you drink potable enough water, and of course, during this weather condition, you try to cover your mouth, with face mask, face mask to reduce even the congestion that is caused by the dust and the weather.
In addition, our dietitian, Antonia Aribisala, emphasizes the importance of eating a balanced diet rich in fruits and vegetables to boost immunity.
Generally, we recommend foods that are rich in water content, food that are rich in electrolyte, food that are rich in water such as fruit, for example, watermelon, orange, pineapple. These food they would help to augment whatever water that will be lost from the body through sweat, through perspiration, and also less of sugary drink.
As the dry season intensifies, respondents say adherence to these preventive measures will go a long way in safeguarding public health. In Akure, Abiola Ario, NTA News.
Up next is business news with Helen Indobuisi.
The federal government has proposed a total allocation of 87.31 billion naira for the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development and its agencies in the 2026 appropriation bill, with the bulk of the funding directed towards capital expenditure. Details of the budget proposal show that 70.19 billion naira, representing more than 80% of the total allocation, is earmarked for capital projects. At the same time, 14.78 billion naira is set aside for personnel costs and 2.34 billion naira for overhead. Also, domestic refineries has declared that they have the capacity to supply more fuel into the local market this year than importers did in 2025. The Crude Oil Refiners Association of Nigeria said that its members, including the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, have the capacity to supply all the fuel needed by Nigerians without recourse to importation. That's all on business news. Helen Ndobrisi, NTA News.
Now let's join Gift George for the latest in the world of sports.
In handball, Nigeria senior men's handball team, the Golden Arrows, began their campaign at the African Men's Handball Nations Cup in Kigali, Rwanda, on a winning note Wednesday afternoon. The Nigerian team, coached by Rafiu Salami, got an impressive 25-23 victory over their Algerian counterparts. The Golden Arrows, made up of foreign and local-based players, shocked the Algerians, who are ranked second in Africa, in its first match in Group A. Nigeria is featured in the African Men's Handball Nations Cup 15 times, with its best performance, which was a fourth-place finish in 1988 in South Africa. In football, Nigeria's representative in the CAF Champions League, Rivers United, have arrived Zambia for its crucial encounter against Power Dynamos of Zambia. Rivers United will face Zambian champions Power Dynamos at the Ndola Levy Mwanrasa Stadium on Saturday, January 24, 2026. The crucial Group A fixture is set for 2 o'clock in the afternoon Nigerian time. The Nigerian side will be aiming to secure a positive result on the road as they continue their campaign in Africa's Premier Club competition, with the outcome of the encounter expected to play a significant role in the shaping of the group. In boxing, ahead of the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, the Nigerian Boxing Federation says it will conduct an open national trials to select the best boxers that will represent the country at the Games. The screening exercise will feature both local and foreign-based boxers. According to the Federation, the boxing trials, which is expected to be transparent, will give all the boxers equal opportunity to be selected to represent the country at the Games.
So they're going to be coming to Nigeria to race with their fellow local boxers, local counterparts who will be training very, very hard, preparing seriously to make sure they raise the flag or they make Nigeria proud in the upcoming game. And we're going to make sure it's going to be a free and fair selection process to the trial.
The 23rd edition of the Commonwealth Games is scheduled for July 23rd to August 2nd, 2026. With sports updates, Gift George, NTA News.
And that's the size of our package in English for NTA Akure News at 7. Many thanks for joining us tonight and have a wonderful evening.